Alright, so welcome to my channel. Just starting this one out right now. I had a gaming channel before that didn't do anything. Never finished anything. This time I'll finish stuff. I'm going to eat those words, I feel like. But yeah, I'm going to finish some stuff. This is my hobby. This is what I do. I am building that POS behind me for hopefully the 24 Hours Lemons in 2021. As long as everything goes well. It is a 99 Honda Civic EX with the D16. Well, the block says Y7. The head's from a Y8. It is a hodgepodge engine from whoever built it previously. So I'm going to dive into that at some point, and I'm also trying to get some spare engines for this thing as well. But that's all in the future. That's when the junkyards actually opened back up after this whole pandemic thing. I don't think it's going anywhere, but whenever it gets slightly better, it gets it to where the businesses start opening and money starts flowing again and all that kind of good stuff. But anyways, past that. So today, what I am working on in this car is, well, I'm not 100% sure yet. I haven't really decided. Sorry. Well, all right. How about I just list on what I have going right now, what I'm working on for this car at the moment. I'm filming this in 360, so you should be able to look around and see everything and hear easy enough. But I need to remove the sound deadener. I need to take the sunroof out. I might take the hood off and start cleaning up the engine bay a little bit more. Things I've already done is, as you can see, I have already stripped the interior. I have also completely removed the HVAC. The dash is sitting over my bench over there. We'll walk over there in a second. And the AC compressor and everything's been removed. Gas tank's out of it right now because the gas tank was crap. I am going through and making sure that the fuel system's perfect. I don't want any kind of fuel system problems with this car. I don't want any leaking or anything like that, which A, it's part of the rules, and B, I'm racing this car, and two of my good buddies are going to be racing this car. I want it to be safe. So there's that. I still have to get the gas tank for it. I'm trying to buy a brand new one. It's whenever I can actually afford that right now. Obviously, everybody knows things are crazy. So this is all the stuff I can do for free right now. Clean, take stuff apart, refurbish parts I can do in my own garage, that kind of stuff. So, yeah. I think I'm going to start getting into it. I got some broken bolts to do. Maybe I'll show you guys how I actually fix broken off bolts. These ones are broken below flush on it. Actually, here, I can show you. They're actually broken below flush right here. It's part of the dash mount for here. Your radio is normally here, and the dash comes down and bolts down to these two bolts. This one was already broken by the previous owner. I broke that one. Obviously, it happens to everybody. See, shifter needs to be reinstalled as well. But that's just some more stuff I got going on. I need parts for that because the reason it's removed like that is because it all rusted out. The chassis is pretty good rust-wise. There's no normal Honda Cancer on this. On either side, the bumpers are busted up a little bit. There was some questionable welding and body repair on the roof of the car at some point. I'm going to make it less questionable, hopefully. Because even though this is a Lemons car, this is also going to be kind of my weekend track car for whenever I want to take it out there if it survives Lemons. Yeah, so I guess let's get into it. All right, I'm going to show you how to take sound deadener, or how I take sound deadener out of a car. At least at the moment. This is not the best way to do this. This is most likely the wrong way of doing it. It just happens the way I'm doing it right now. A much better technique, dry ice. Dry ice makes this way easier. The sound dampener just flakes off. I am using a MAP gas torch and some scrapers. Don't do it this way. I gotta grab my mask actually now that I think about it. So I'm gonna set you down. I'll probably make a cut here real quick, get the camera set up, and get at it. I don't know if I'll time lapse it or not yet. Depends on how long it's gonna take me. Or I'll just speed up the footage. I don't know. We'll find out. But here, let me set you down. All right. So I'm not doing this the right way in many ways. I can't find my mask, so I can only do this for a little bit before it starts getting to me for the fumes. This produces some fumes. Best way to do this is with dry ice. Don't use this. Oh, it's a bad idea. Catch your car on fire. This burns very hot, but this needs to get done. So I'm going to do it this way. First video, leave a comment how I'm an idiot. So, gonna get stuck into this. I might time lapse it here in a second. Well, no, actually, I'll show you how I do this first. Then I'll probably time lapse it afterwards. Let's see, what can you see? Well, I gotta touch the camera. Sorry if it bumps. Crap at this. Preview screen doesn't say I'm long enough. Alright, so let's see. You can see. Let's do this corner. So, first things first, make sure as much of the wire you can get out the way you can. Just push it out the way, get out your way. Anything flammable, move away from you, check under the car, make sure there's nothing flammable. Gas tank's out of this car right now, so there's no fuel in it whatsoever. So, torch. Fire. This is going to suck. Just get it warm. You'll see it blister a little bit. Actually, why am I giving you a tutorial for this? Don't do it this way. Dry ice is cheap. I just can't leave the house right now. Yeah, see? This is gonna suck. But it's effective, especially when you can get it like that. When it's not super adhered, you can break off large chunks like that, which is pretty nice. Now, I have been keeping all the sound dampener I've already gotten out, so I'm going to weigh it and let you guys know how much the sound dampener on a 99 Civic is going to weigh for you, if anybody's ever done it. I don't know. I didn't do any research for it. But I'll give you a good rough estimate so you know if this is something, if you're chasing ounces or pounds, if this is something that's worthwhile or not. I don't particularly think it is, but this car is getting roll cage. This car is getting a cage put in it, so this will make it easier for putting a cage in it. I don't believe I am putting the cage in this car. I can. I have cage cars before, but oh, I have the hiccups. Wonderful. This whole segment just got scrapped. No, it didn't. I'll keep on going. I'm gonna be that guy. That guy. What was I saying? But yeah, the car's getting caged. And this will make it easier for it. the less work I can make for the guys that are doing the cage, hopefully that means the cheaper the cage will be for me. For at least I just want to make it less work for them so they can do a better job at it. I don't have the stuff to do a cage right now. I don't own a tubing bender or anything. I got a welder, but I don't got a tubing bender. And that you kind of need that to build a cage. So, doing this to help them with that. Other than that, I probably wouldn't do this to a car. I wouldn't do any of this to a car. I prefer leaving them mostly stock. Outside of big, nasty engines. Because big, nasty, fast engines are fun, especially when the car can turn. So yeah, just gotta warm it up. Hopefully the glue will release from it. See a blister a little bit there. Try not to let it blister. It smells a lot worse when it blister. I should be wearing a mask. I should be wearing gloves. I'm not. Unless it starts becoming a problem for me, I'm not going to wear gloves. Because I'm an idiot that way. Oh, that's so cold. Also, I find, so here's something else. We got 3 different scrapers here. The big one, for most cars, doesn't really work that well for this kind of thing because of the ripples in the floor pan. The skinny one seems to work the nicest. This one's not too bad. But the wide one doesn't typically work for the car terribly well. So there's that if you're scraping junk off your car like this. Especially if you're not using air, you don't have access to an air compressor. I'm not turning mine on right now. That thing's annoying. So, I'm doing this by hand for this reason. Oh, no fire. We're good. There's a little bit of that old carpet out here. That's the only thing I didn't weigh is the carpet. I slightly regret that, but the carpet was very nasty and I just wanted it gone. I've weighed every other piece out of the car except for the carpet. And I know the carpet on these they're not heavy. No car's got really heavy carpet unless we're talking like a luxury vehicle. And even then, they're not too bad. But I did weigh everything, so I can let you guys know at some point. I say you guys, it's like I haven't even subscribed. I haven't even started the channel at this point of starting these videos. Alright, so can I get it from this side? Maybe. Come on. I'm also not doing this in the best position. I should be really up in this car, but trying to give you guys the best angle I can for this without you actually sitting in the vehicle. I have you on a stand to keep the car from rattling the camera. You probably can't see the spot I'm actually working on right now, can you? I'll see about speeding up the footage past this part. shooting to make these videos about a half-hour long, which I know isn't exactly the YouTube metric. It should be closer to 15, but I don't like that. I don't like watching car videos that are only 15 minutes long, unless there's something very specific in it that I'm trying to learn, or something very small. If I'm just watching the video because I think the car is cool and I enjoy the YouTuber, I want the video to be longer. I should be wearing gloves, but I'm an idiot. I've said that a lot already. I'll say that about myself fairly often. But it's one of those things. Interesting my commentary actually is being at the moment, because I have no feedback on it whatsoever. I'm sure I'll get plenty of feedback at some point or another, good or bad. Well, any feedback can be good, even if that's not what the person giving the feedback intends. Alright, this has probably gotten fairly boring at you. I think I'm going to switch this to a time lapse and get this going. One other thing, you can see the rust hole here in the corner. I'm eventually going to fix that. I'll show you guys how I fix rust holes. This one is kind of interesting because it's actually a lot bigger than just this hole. It extends to about here, and it looks like it might go all the way into the corner. So I'm going to have to replace this whole section here probably. I'm going to try and do it as proper as I can to show you guys how to. I could just throw a piece in there and make these two pieces that are connecting each other one sheet, not double up the layers. I'd like to make it look as good as I can. It's a Lemons car, I know. I'm doing this kind of dumb in that aspect. But this is still a fun car for me. I'm just taking it to Lemons because it's the cheapest racing I can get into right now. And it looks like it's a lot of fun. I really want to do it. So yeah, hopefully I'll get to talk about that more. And all that. But yeah, let me switch to the time lapse and finish up at least this section. Then maybe we'll move on to something else. All right, got her all done. Got all this junk out of her for this corner. I still got the whole front section to do. All right. Still got the whole front section to do. I'm gonna do this later. That honestly kind of sucked doing that. So I think I'm gonna move on to something else at the moment. What that is, I am not exactly sure. But I'll bring it back here in a second. I think we might move up to the engine bay. Clean up some of this wiring here. And get the rest of the AC out. There's one line that's still stuck in there underneath the battery tray. So I think we're going to work on that. So yeah, let me, actually, you know what? Just grab you up here. I'll do it this way. You get to go with me. So yeah, I'm going to get into the engine bay, get that all set. Let me drag a little, I think it's an old bedside table or something like that. I don't know. I have a lot of junk in here. Ooh, bad lighting. Alright. Yep. But yeah, we're going to get that going. Sit there and mess around with that for a couple minutes. Like I said, I'm trying to get about a 30-minute video out of this. If I only get 15, not a big deal. But yeah, see you in a second. So next thing to do is, there's a few things to do under the hood here. You can see random hose there. That's a fuel line. That all needs to get put back together eventually. I'm not doing that right now. I still got some more parts to get for that, to finish that off. Right now what I'm doing is I'd like to get all this extra wiring that doesn't need to be up here, this evap hose that's still stuck up here. I'd like to get all this cleared out. First thing to do is I gotta take the battery tray out. Probably gonna break the bolts on it. That's okay. The battery's getting relocated to the trunk of the car. So I don't need to worry about that anymore. So yeah, let's start breaking bolts. Oh. That. Still can break. So far so good. Let's see if I bust a knuckle. Yeah, we're doing all right. Oh, it's annoying. All right, there we go. Oh, I love living up north like this. All the cars are in such great condition. All the bolts come out nice and easy. If you can't tell, I'm being very sarcastic right now. Yeah. Well, that one's not terribly nice. Oh, I don't even know. Ooh, that's really nasty down there. Nope. All right. Okay. Probably should say don't do this if you don't have to. It's really bad on your sockets and stuff. Actually, you know what? I might not have to do that. This one might be so rusted that it... Man, see, I'm trying to... I don't care if the bolts break, but if the bolts strip, that would not be fun. And I think these are so rusted that they're not a size 12 anymore. You see how much play I'm getting there? They're not quite a size 12 anymore. Let's see if an 11 will fit. I might have to switch to standard socket sizes. I feel like I shouldn't be talking off camera like that, or like away from the camera like that. But I don't have too much choice because my sockets are over that way. So, all right, it might be a little bit loud. Watch your ears. I might try and do something with a sound for that, because that was loud for me. All right, break loose or snap. Don't round, please. Oh, yeah. So that might be because I smacked it with a hammer. It sometimes breaks the rust loose and makes it where the bolt will come out easier. Yep. Cool. Well, here's the fun part. It's stuck. Luckily, I have some pliers sitting here. It's a really good way of breaking your thumb or something. There we go. Yeah, you just see I smashed the socket over it. It only works with really good sockets. If you use some soft, cheap ones that won't hold up, all you'll do is swell your socket and break it rather than actually getting down on the nut or on the bolt. Excuse me, I'll say them backwards every once in a while. All right. Yep, I gotta do it again. Here we go. Cover your ears. As you can see, that truck does work fairly well in some circumstances. I'm actually glad it worked. It doesn't always work. Most of the time, you'll sit there, smack it down, it gets tight for a second, and then just rounds it off even worse. So it's nice that it worked this time around. But when dealing with these northern rusty cars like this, with this kind of thing going on, you got to have quite a few tricks to take care of this sort of thing. And I know guys that got way more tricks than I do for this sort of thing. Way better. This is just what I got in my bag. Junk bolt is junk. Sorry. Alright, so now I can get that out of there for the most part. I don't know why I'm being so dainty taking that part off. It's not like it's going to go back onto anything. If anybody needs a 99 Civic battery tray, just go ahead and go to your local junkyard. What do we got here? Rusty old socket. Wait, what size is it? Did I just find somebody's lost 10 mil? No clue. It is so rusted. I literally can't see. Oh, what's this? Is there another one down here? There is another one down here. Holy crap, dude. Alright, well, I'll have to break out the vacuum to clean out that here soon. But completed what I set out to do for that. Alright, now, so we got, that one's already done. I need some snips to undo all this. The guy who got this car before me honestly did the wiring for the fog lamps fairly well. I'm just taking them out because I don't like these, don't like the way the fog lamps look. They're crushed against the bumper and it's deforming the bumper some. I don't like that. So let's see. That is an 8 or a 10 mil. Let's grab that real quick. Yeah, let's grab some snips while we're at it. If I can find any at the moment, that is. Here's a small pair. Somebody must have jacked my other 2 good ones. Alright, cool. Let's see if these snips will snip. You suck. They're just going under the car, so don't worry about me dropping them. I sweep up after I'm done working on a car most of the time. Granted, this is my own garage, so it's gonna be messy. It's just how things are. Oh my goodness, what's all this? Is that a fuse hidden back there? I think it is. Or it was at one point. I see some green death. Yep. Yeah, there's the fuse. Nice. There is, that's the ground. I'll take that off later. All right. And you can't see where I'm going with this now, so. All right. So that snakes around interior of the car. All the way to the other side. All right. Gonna jump cut and reposition the camera real quick. All right. Let's drag the rest of these wires over here, hopefully. Good relay setup I should hang on to. Oh, no, never mind. It's no good. Now, whether or not it's no good before or after I yanked the wires, who knows? Don't care. Relays are fairly cheap. Actually, do I have some? I do. Sorry, I bumped the camera. Of course I did. I think you guys can see this. I gotta do this real quick if you can't. Ow. It's loud. There we go. Got that off there. I can drag that across as well. Yeah, let's just cut all those where they go. A little bit of a spaghetti mess. It's just stuff you gotta do when you buy somebody else's project, essentially. If you don't like the way they did something or something along those lines. What is that? So I'm not an expert at Honda, so I don't exactly know what that is. I'll have to figure that out at some point. Alright, so it looks like we're going to be heading back into the car. Sorry about that popping sound. Oh, look at that. Yep. I haven't decided if the radio is going to go back in yet, so I do kind of need that piece, but this, I know this is okay at most shops, and this does look like it was actually a professional shop that installed this. I hate this kind of mess. So if the radio goes back in it, I'm fixing this. I'm making a proper jumper harness. So gotta hang on to it. I don't need to hang on to all this wire though. There's junk pile. AKA old engine harness pile as well. Alright, so now what? Now that that bit of wiring is done, what do I want to do? Man, I gotta get back to the sound dampener. I bet you guys don't want to watch any more of the sound dampening stuff. So I'll probably cut that portion out and we'll come back at whenever I'm starting on something else, which I don't know after this point. I got that bit of welding to do on the corner, and what else? Not a whole lot until the cage gets put in, because I don't want to put the gas tank back in. I can finish the under hood fuel stuff, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure that out. I think I'm going to go edit a bit of the video I got so far, then come back to this. I was expecting to be out here a lot longer right now, but I guess not. All right, see you guys soon.